Life is a one-way track. Go for it, since you cannot leave it back. But as you go your way, your feelings go on as well. What does your character depend on? It is your homeland which brings you up. It is history and language which shapes your heart. All fields, forests, rivers and dialect will never pass in Wielkopolska either. So stop for a moment and look around. Those wonders are within the reach of your hand. Who am I? Where am I from? These questions have been bothering you for long. Think now and remember. I will open your eyes. Wielkopolska has experienced worse since the times of the past. Among them one of the worst, the First World War, which devastated our dear native homes. There were thousands of brave people whose lives were lost, and the flocks of kulaks' daughters who had secretive hopes. The world was happy to feast, for the war was over. Still Wielkopolska was not within the Polish borders. It belonged to the Reich, which did not care.
It is 4:40 p.m. Let's start the uprising and fight again.
Sylianka Wielkopolska echoed in the ears of insurgents. Community support and helping hands in the fight were urgent. Eagles on uniforms and flags marching in the wind. Brothers in arms with hopes of freedom unpinned. And so the victorious uprising passed, which will be remembered by each of us. All local folklore cannot be disregarded, as really strange things finished here and started. The name Rogalin comes from the horns of deer, for which 3 brothers fought without fear. 3 oak brothers are still in the park by the Warta River, the trunks clad in the legend, the branches that quiver. The legend has it Lech, Czech, and Rus built a temple. Although it disappeared, the oaks still proudly stand there. Local symbols of faith can be spotted here. Our great-grandfathers left them for us, my dear. In Rogalinek, let us step into a beautiful old church. Immerse yourself into the spirit of the past there. The banks of the Warta River hug it from one side. You cannot miss it. Don't put a visit to it aside. And another church, Vara, in the old town, the edifice with organs built in a Baroque style, the landmark of Poznań, with a long-lasting beauty. Visiting it soon should be your soul, and only duty. Stand there face to face with Our Lady of Perpetual Help. She will brighten the darkness sides of your faith. Culture is what we diligently preserve. Huge collections of artifacts one can here observe. Among them a library, Raczyński's possession, with books which can become your reading obsession. It is the Raczyński's family that we owe so much. The gay fountain on Liberty Square as such. They are the symbols of our progress and strides, the reasons for us to be extremely proud. The great theater in Poznań is for sure well known. the author of which was Littman, who built it a long time ago, the first performance of which was the magic flute, the beauty of which was undoubtedly so cute. Architecture in Poznan can also be widely admired for its many buildings by which other designers were inspired. Arcadia and Bazaar, each one of historic place, they left us such a precious historical trace. Let us take a visit to the old town, listen to its legend, look at it now. The legend has it there were two goats. In fear they ran away from Pietrek, of whom I read it, old notes. The goats reached the top of a clock tower, and over the heads of bystanders butted for an hour. The provincial governor, amused by their sight, had two metal awns, made as a proof of their fight. Since then they have butted of the tower for 1,000,000 of times, striking middays after a bugle call to all passers-by. And that is how our journey ends. But hospitable Wielkopolska each of us awaits. So think about your homeland from time to time. Only then you will be free, and never say to it goodbye.